Good afternoon, students. Previous class, we start to learn about the different, what we call the social division, which were actually made during this time. It's called as Varna system. See, the priest class people, so they were divided people into four class based on their occupations, especially based on their occupations. So, such as Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and then Shudra. See, here these actually divided by priests, and these were also called as Varnas. These were also called as Varnas. Here, the first one, that is a Brahmin or Brahman. So actually, they were expected to study and even teach the Vedas and perform religious rituals, sacrifices, and they were received gifts also. They were received gifts also. And the second one, Kshatriya. See, they were rulers. They were rulers, or even they were called warriors. So here they were expected to fight battles and protect people. So the Kshatriyas, they were expected to fight battle and protect people. And the third one, Vaishya, and also it's called Vish. So they were actually expected to be farmers, herders, and traders. So here, both the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they could perform the sacrifices. They could perform sacrifices, but the last class, they were the Shudras, so they were not allowed to perform. They were not allowed to perform any kind of sacrifices. And yet, Shudras were who had to serve the other three groups and could not perform any kind of rituals. So often, women were also grouped with the Shudras. Men were also grouped with the Shudras. So here, the women, so they were also grouped with the Shudras. So both women and Shudras. So they were not allowed to study the Vedas. But there were someone, those were even, they were studied the Vedas. See, the priests also said that these groups were decided on the basis of birth. These groups actually, whatever it may be, Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya, Shudra. So, it is actually decided on the basis of birth. For example, if one's father and mother were Brahmins, understood? Once father and mother were Brahmins, and one would automatically become a Brahmin. If suppose the father or mother Kshatriya, so they would become automatically Kshatriyas. Like that. So these Varnas were based on the birth. See, they later they classified some people as untouchable. This is what a very the bad the culture it was began in our subcontinent. So afterwards, later, so some of the people they were classified as untouchable among the Sudras. See, these included some craft persons, hunters and gatherers, and as well as the people who helped perform burials and cremations. Cremations. So, who were helped in the burials and the cremations, and some of the crowd persons and even the hunters and gatherers. So they were later onwards, so they were amongst Shudras, so they were considered as untouchables. The priests said that contact with these groups was polluting. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಹಿಂದೂ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯ ಸಂಕೀರ್ಣತೆ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಹೊಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಲು ಕೀಳು ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಭಾವನೆ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ನೌ ಸೊ ದ ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದೀಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಲಿನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಹಳೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಗಮನಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಪುರೋಹಿತರು ಅವರು ಪೂಜೆ ಹೊರಡೋ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎದುರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಶೂದ್ರರು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಸೊ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಶುಚಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಬರೀ ಏನು ಮುಟ್ಟೋದು ಬೇಕಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಕಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅವ್ರ ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅವ್ರ ಅಡ್ಡ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ತಾವು ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಸೊ ಅವರು ಮಲಿನ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸೊ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಶುಚಿಯಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಅನಿಷ್ಟ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಈ ಪುಣ್ಯಾತ್ಮರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. So anyhow dear students, so please whatever I am explaining it is about only the text, not to hurt anybody. Of course we all of you may belongs to among these one or other category, maybe Brahmin, maybe Kshatriya, maybe Vaishya, maybe Shudra, maybe even you may not belongs to Hindu religion also. So that's also whatever I am discussing, it is about the syllabus, it is about the text, it is about whatever the given the information, that's all. Not so I would like to tell once again very clearly, not to hurt any religious, any socio-religious or any caste or any whether upper, lower, middle, so on so things, whatever the people used to call it, not to hurt you. Please, ಏನು ರಾಜು ಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ whatever we are practicing in the present days, ಸೊ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಉಗಮ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಬಹುಶಃ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾತಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಯಿತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರುವಾಯಿತು, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿ ಉತ್ತರವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್, not I would like to tell, not to hurt any community, any religion, that's all. Okay, so this is only for the discussion and to know the truth, that's all. See, many people did not accept the system of Varna laid down by the Brahmins. So many they were not accepted and they were not ready to. So some kings thought they were superior to the priests. So actually here the priests thought that so they were superior than the kings, but some of the kings thought that were superior to the priests. So others felt that birth could not be a basis for deciding which were not people amongst people based on occupation. Understood now. So already I told. So the actually the varna, the caste that's going to decide. I mean, going to decide based on their birth, where, in which society. So they were automatically. So somehow they were. They could. I mean, not ready to accept this also. So that birth could not be a basis for deciding they were superior or they may belong to which varna. Okay. So besides, some people felt that there should be no differences amongst people based on occupations. So some of the people, so they felt that there should be no differences amongst people based on occupations also. So others felt that everybody should be able to perform rituals. Everyone. Suppose if I know the Sanskrit, if I know the Vedas, even I can chant, I can perform the sacrifices, rituals, whatever. And others condemn the practice of untouchability. Some of they were opposed, they were condemned the practice of the untouchability. Also, there were many areas in the subcontinent, such especially as the northeast, where social and economic differences were not very sharp and where the influence of the priests was limited. So, this is about a brief information about the Varnas system. Now, let us start to discuss about Janapadas. Janapadas. See, the Rajas who performed these big sacrifices, such as Ashwamedha, like that. So, they were now recognized as being Rajas of Janapadas rather than Janas. Rather than Janas. So, they were recognized as being Rajas of Janapadas. So, those who are performed the big sacrifices. So the word Janapada, so literally means the land where the Jana set its food and settled down. Janapada ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ literally, so where the land where the Jana set its food and settled down. ಸೊ ಜನವಸತಿ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರು ವಾಸವಾಗಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪ್ರದೇಶ. So some important Janapadas are shown on the map 4, page number 49. You please see that. So there were so many Janapadas such as Gandhara, Takshila, Kitru, Avanti, Ujjain, Kaushambi, Rajagriha, Magadha, Vaishali, Vajji, Anga. So like that, so there were some of the Janapadas, especially the important Janapadas, they were shown in that page number 49. So please you can go through that and then you can study that. So literally meaning where the Jana set its food and settled down. So archaeologists have excavated a number of settlements in these Janapadas, especially Purana and Atranjikera, especially Purana, Kila, Astinapura and Atranjikera. So like that, so there were so many Janapadas excavated by archaeologists. So there were so many, a number of settlements in these Janapadas. So Puranakila, that is in Delhi, and Astinapura, that is near Meerut, and Atranjikira, that is near the Itha, the what we call the last two, or I mean Atranjikira and Itha. So they are in present Uttar Pradesh. See, they found that people lived in huts and kept cattle as well as other animals also. So they were the people in these Janapadas lived in huts and they were kept themselves cattle and some of the other animals also. They also grew a variety of crops such as rice, barley, wheat, pulses, sugarcane, sesame, and mustard. So these were some of the crops so which were grown by these settlement. Those were settled in these settlements, and they may earthen pots also. They made earthen pots. Some of these were grey in color, others were red. So they were prepared the different colors. Pots also. Some of the pots were grey in color and some of the pots were red in color. So one special type of pottery found at these sites, that is known as painted grey ware. Painted grey ware. See, as is obvious from the name, these grey pots had painted designs, usually simple lines and geometric patterns. So that's what. So the special pot which was found at these sites, so that is known as painted grey ware, because these grey pots had painted designs, usually simple lines and then geometric patterns. So it is about the Janapadas. Now let us see that Mahajanapadas. Mahajanapadas. See, about 2500 years ago, about 2500 years ago, some Janapadas became more important than others. Got it, dear students? So, about 2500 years ago, some Janapadas, so they were became more important than others. And those Janapadas were known as Mahajanapadas. So, which were the Janapadas were became more important than other Janapadas. Those Janapadas were known as Mahajanapadas. Got it, dear students? See, the same some of the most Janapadas, important Janapadas shown in this map. So just you can go through that. So usually this is what a special. These Mahajanapadas had a capital city. So this is what a special. Mahajanapadas had a capital city. Understood now? And also the Mahajanapadas were fortified. Mahajanapadas were fortified. So the thing is that Mahajanapadas had a capital city and Mahajanapadas were fortified. That means that huge walls of wood. So ಎಂತಹ ಕೋಟೆ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಸುತ್ತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, so they were huge walls of wood, brick or stone were built around them. So ಆ ಒಂದು ಸುತ್ತ ಕಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ, ಇಟ್ಟಿಗೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ, ಮರವನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ಅತಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಗೋಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕೋಟೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕೋಟೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಥವಾ ತಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಆ ತಡೆಗೋಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ದಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಕಟ್ಟತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Got it now? So huge walls were especially of wood, brick and stone. So they are built around them. And another important thing, forts were probably built because people were afraid of attacks from other kings and needed protection. ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು? So it's especially for to get protection from the other kings and as well as what we called attack from any others. So that's what. So the forts were built probably because of people were afraid of attacks of other kings and needed protection. ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜರುಗಳ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಆ ಒಂದು ಶತ್ರುಗಳ ದಾಳಿಯಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೋಟೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. It is also likely that some rulers wanted to show how rich and powerful they were. So to show their richness, to show their powerful, to show their power. So that's what they were building the really large, tall and impressive walls around their cities. ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರದ ಒಂದು ಗೋಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವರ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ the most of the rulers, so they wanted to show how rich and powerful they were by building. How they were going to show to others? No, by building really a large, tall and impressive walls around their cities. Also in this way, the land and around their cities, especially the land and even the people living inside the fortified area, could be controlled more easily by the king. This is another one. If suppose the area, if it is covered with the wall or fort, so it's so easy to control the land or the pipeline. So that's what the kings of the world would like to build a forts. Get it now? See, buildings such as huge walls required a great deal of planning. Thousands, if not lakhs of bricks or stones had to be prepared. It requires a lot of planning and lot of bricks, and this in turn meant enormous labor provided. So to build also it requires the number of labors, so possibly by thousands of men, women and children, and resources had to be found for all this. Even resources also required to build. See, the new Rajas now began maintaining armies. Afterwards, what happened? No, so the Rajas, the rulers, the kings, so they were began maintaining armies. Soldiers were paid regular salaries. Soldiers, they were paid regular salaries and maintained by the king throughout the year. So throughout the year, the king used to maintain the soldiers. Some payments were probably made using punch marked coins. So about this we are going to learn more in the next chapter, okay, about the punch marked coins. Got it, dear students? So during this period only the Rajas, they were began maintaining armies and soldiers were paid throughout the years and they were getting regular salaries also. Understood? So the next class we are going to discuss about taxes. Thank you. Have a nice day.